actually really difficult to do. Yeah, we need to actually fix the title of stream. Rainbow Six Sieges M590A1 Part 1. Changes saved, and we'll come back over to here. We'll go ahead and get this opened up. Alrighty then. Hey Irish Panda. This is what we have of the shotgun so far, and yeah, I've basically completed almost all of it. So when I got home today, Bacher was streaming, Leo was streaming, and I ended up watching him stream instead of Irish Panda. No, the only person who's mod as of right now is my girlfriend. Sorry, mate. Leo was streaming, and I don't like to step on people's toes. I don't like people to be taken out of chat, things like that. Like if people want to watch one stream, they can watch one stream. I don't want two streams going on at once so that they can't. What the heck? Layers of Fear. Must be some type of game. So basically, while he was streaming, I was working on building this. This is pretty much everything that we have done so far, which is everything, almost. The only thing that we have left to do is technically the stock, and then we're done with it, which is, what's the best word? I know I said that I was going to live stream it, so it's a little heartbreaking that, oh goodness. It's a little heartbreaking that, you guys don't actually get to see the majority of everything that I did to it because I didn't stream the beginning portion of it. I'm streaming basically what's going on right now. So this is everything that we have thus far. This is pretty much all the working features. And I think by pretty much I mean all of them, because everything is here. And this was a really difficult thing to pull off. Right through here is something really impressive to do that would just absolutely mind-blowingly hard to do. All right, so we got a what's this thing called? I'm going to call it a feed ramp, but that's not the right word. We have this feed ramp here, basically. If I can click on the right piece. Okay, all right. We'll play like this. This will open up like so that you can place shotgun shells into the inside there. Though we might need to work on that. I don't know. So we got that there. So you can load shotgun shells up into it. We have our bolt, which is connected to this rod that connects to the front handguard here. So we have a little bit of some detailing going on in terms of the angle. I'm also looking at the gun in Rainbow Six Siege because it has that 360-degree viewer. So we have this part of the handguard and this part, and then the bottom curve, so that there's some form of curve here. Tactical rail, and tactical rail, as well as some stippling on the side here to help whenever you're running the pump. We have this up here. Which is the front of the mag tube. And the mag tube is actually really cool because it seats 7 rounds, 7 shotgun shells. You can see all 7 of them right through here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are slugs. Slugs are in green shell casings. Buckshot and things like that are in red. And this was really difficult to do, but it pays off a lot because you can now fully load the mag tube. Yes, Potato's my girlfriend. And you can see just barely through this gap right here, the shotgun shells on the inside. And that's simply because this is actually held on by this right there. So that allows you to fit shells into the mag tube without being too bulky, so that I could fit all of this where it is right now. So, yep, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like that. So, basically the only thing that we have left to complete is the stock. And then after that, if I still have it in me, we'll see if we can't work on some other things. So, basically all we got to do is complete this end right here, and then we'll be done. As the stream cuts out on me. It's fantastic. Hey, the stream cuts out on me. So we're going to start with the grip, which is basically just a straight angle of this coming down. And we're going to see how things go. Switch it up to red. And we'll work this through. And by the way, this entire portion of the receiver right here is actually built upside down. Right through there. Alright, so the grip is going to be relatively simple, I go to say. I'm going to carry down the same angle because it basically is the same. Okay, you need to stay there. Stop doing that. This is going to come down fairly good amount. We'll go maybe 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll see where that gets us. It just to crump it. So now we just got to come through and kind of fill this in a little bit. Get rid of this, replace it with that so that this just connects together a bit more. And now we're going to try what we did with the M14. So what I did with the M14 was basically, oops, built up a system through here. And we'll see how well this works out. So we'll do that. And we're going to place this. And then we're going to start the curve like so. And then it'd be really cool if this would fit somewhere right about there. So we can come through and polish this off just a little bit by doing that. I think even then we'll go just one more. Like so. Hey, Korea TV. And we might take this down a full 8. Yeah, I think we'll go the full 8. And then basically we're going to come in and place these here. So I felt like streaming right now because Rainbow Six Siege is not going good for me lately. Last night it was pretty good. Out of nowhere, I've got like a whole bunch of people that joined the lobby that were older, who had microphones and were actually communicating. And someone in there was like, "Oh, we should just party up and we'll play it, right?" So we ended up partying it up, and we were destroying in casual. And I mean absolutely destroying people. Like flawless victories left and right. And then everyone's like, yeah, it's getting pretty late where we are. Should go to bed. We all lived on the Eastern time zone, basically. And someone was like, well, we should play just like one ranked game to see what happens. And we're like, oh, all right, whatever. We'll play one ranked game, see what happens or anything like that. So we played one ranked game mode. And I'll tell you now that It did not go well in ranked. We got absolutely destroyed in ranked. And I mean destroyed because it it was 0 to 3 instantly. I I just yeah, it was not good. Yeah, we're building shotgun. This is the M590A1 from Rainbow Six Siege. Continuing our Rainbow Six Siege coverage of firearms. So I mean, I got really, it was whatever because ranked is a completely different thing than casual. So we backed out. Everyone went to bed, things like that. Haven't played with any of them today. Um, 1 second. So I got on today, just a little bit before stream, just to see if I could do anything relatively good. It didn't go over well today either. Just not, just didn't do too well, basically, what it boils down to. So got off and came to this. It's just kind of annoying because I'm not the best at the game. I'll never admit I'm good at the game. Is my volume on? Yeah, my volume's on. And there's only so much that I could take of constantly losing over and over again before I quit out of the game. And most of it's not even my fault, right? And I know it's very, very still stereotypical to just blame why you're losing on other people, but I get the absolute worst teammates possible. Oh my goodness. Just absolute potatoes that have no idea how to aim. Like I'm talking, it's I die and it's 4v5 and then like we'll repeat that. I managed to get 3 kills on the enemy team and then I get killed. So it's a 4v2. And you would think that we have the numbers advantage, we're gonna win. No, we get absolutely destroyed because no one knows how to aim for some reason. It's disgusting. And I don't like it, and that's why I'm here to play. I don't know about the Switch just yet. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, no, these teammates just have the absolute worst aim that anyone could possibly have. And it is so frustrating to be playing with teammates like that because you would try your absolute hardest in a round to win, only to be dicked over by your teammates because they have no idea how to aim. And that stuff is just what really frustrates me the most in any type of game. So I was like, whatever, I'm getting out. PS4, bruh, what a scrub. Xbox One, mate, all day. Come on, Xbox One. Um, So yeah, I got off Rainbow Six Siege. Also, I'm like the last game I played, there was only, let me think about this. I was one of two people that were actually actively looking for the bomb location. At the beginning of every match, at least three people on our team were not active in using their drones to look for the objective. They were just sitting there AFK. And that's really annoying because if I don't find the drone and the other person looking doesn't find the drone, we have no idea what we're about to walk into, and chances are we're going to get absolutely boned. So, like, I remember one round I didn't know there was a Capcan on their team because no one had found the bomb objective and no one had seen anyone. And it was 4v1 with me on the team that only has one person. So I'm the last operator standing. And I'm picking off people. I get it down to a 1v3, and I know for a fact that there's one person watching the bomb. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna rush him. So I ran into the room where he was, but there was a shield right in front of, like the portable shields, right in front of the doorway. So I crawled over the portable shield, and what do you know? There was a Capcom entry denial device right there, and it destroyed me. And I got really pissed off really quick because that's absolute bullshit, and I would not have gotten owned by Capcom had someone actually used their drone at the beginning of the match. So that just, you know, just pissed me off. Xbox One Scorpio coming out this year. Yep. I want to get both, but I'm starting with PlayStation 4 because 99% of my friends are on PS4. Um, yeah, I could, I see why. The only reason I have an Xbox One is because the majority of the people I played with were on Xbox One, anyways. My cousin actually played on his Xbox 360 a lot, and he's the whole reason I got a an Xbox to begin with. So I got my 360 towards the tail end of when 360s came out, like their life cycle, I should say. So when I got my 360 and I first saw him, I was like, "Oh, hey, add me on Xbox. This is my username." And he looked at me and he goes, "I don't play Xbox anymore." And I was like, "What?" And I was really confused because the only reason I got an Xbox is because he played on Xbox. He goes, "Yeah, man, I haven't been on Xbox in forever. I play PlayStation now." And I was like, "What? Why?" And he goes, "Oh, they just have better single player games and their internet service is free because that's when it was still free um, back in the old days." And of course, we see where that is now, where now you have to actually pay for it, and there's really no difference between the two, but it's whatever. So yeah, now he plays on PlayStation primarily, and I play on Xbox One primarily. Um, I love the Xbox controllers. I'll go ahead and just unplug the Astros. This is like one of my all-time favorite controllers ever. I play with full paddles in it as best as I possibly can. This is A, this is B, this is X, and this is Y. And it's just absolutely one of the best things ever. Like, my sister doesn't play with paddles at all for some reason. I don't know why. Um, So I'll come home, and as I'm like launching the games, getting them ready, the controller paddles will be off. And it is the weirdest feeling in the world to not feel paddles on the back and then just use the normal little pad over here in order to select through the menus and things like that. It's just so weird to me. So the angle here is actually a really sharp angle, but I don't think it's not particularly this angle, but I think this angle right here is going to be way, way too much to do. We can try it. Yeah, see, that's way, way too fat as a stock. So the best thing to do might actually be breaking things. Breaking how Lego works, almost. We'll be using these pieces for reasons that will become obvious as we continue. So this is going to need to hopefully end perfectly. Thank you. And this won't end perfectly just yet, but it can if we do work on doing stuff like that later. Put two of those down and then see if the other one of these fits where we need it to. No, it doesn't. Of course not. So we'll just do another two. I really prefer the Xbox controllers. They're much bigger. I had the PlayStation 2 hooked up in my room, and the PS2 controller is just so much smaller, and it does not fit my hands well at all. And that is probably my biggest gripe about the PlayStation. Hey, Blocker. Welcome to stream. Alright, so the angle that I'm thinking will work is basically just standard um, standard stuff. Basically, we're just going to see if this stuff works the way that I want it to. I don't think this one will. Hey, Logan Man, on the stream. I think this is like the other ones. This is too much. Yeah, I think that's way too much. I can already tell that's way too much. But because it's upside down, we could now use these pieces, technically. Let's see if these work. Hmm. That also seems to be too much. Heck, is already that far into it? All right. So I was gonna see if, about using a weird technique. So you can take these and you can overlap them by one stud to get kind of an angle that's the same. You can see it kind of like makes a straight angle, but there's this around this to it that I don't want. So the only other real way to do it would be using plates. And I don't know how we're gonna we're gonna figure it out together, but I don't know how this is gonna work out. I don't think this is gonna work because that's gonna be really difficult to do. But it's a sharper angle than the 3, but it's not exactly a 1, so it's not a 2 either because the 2 is gonna not work the way that we need the 2 to work, basically. Because this is only like a slight angle change. So that's not gonna work. This though, this might. I really wish they made these pieces without the vents in them, because this is ultimately gonna look kind of weird with how these vents are gonna pan out. But should be close. I think that'll be how long the stock is actually. About to there. I think that's the angle that we're gonna go with because it actually looks good. Alright, so now we just got to build this up and get all of it figured out. Well then. According to Aristotle, that would be a virtuous relationship. To Aristotle, there's three different types of relationships. There is a utility relationship, a pleasure relationship, and a virtuous relationship, all of which are pretty self-explanatory. So where are we? A pleasure relationship revolves around pleasure. So whatever people do for pleasure is basically what that relationship would end up being. Then we'd have a utility relationship, which generally speaking is a relationship that revolves around business. The idea that someone is useful to the other person. So this type of relationship, the best way that I could put it is probably a relationship between a drug dealer and a client. It is nothing but a utilitarian relationship. The drug dealer sells drugs, client buys the drugs, and that's how that works, basically. We've got a virtuous relationship, which basically revolves around I like you and you like me, and I am willing to go out of my way to make your day as fantastic as I possibly can. Virtues, in a sense. So, virtues, there's four main virtues that both Plato and Aristotle vouched for. So, justice, wisdom, courage, and self-discipline are the four main virtues. So, for anyone who wanted to know any of that, you are welcome. For those of you who didn't, I don't particularly care. You now know something that you probably didn't at the beginning of the day. This message was sponsored by my college philosophy teacher turned critical thinking and ethics teacher. I have him for both now, basically. So, just an interesting thing. We also have a test on Monday, so technically the best way to learn something is to teach others about it. So that's what I just kind of did, in a sense. Now you all know something about Plato and Aristotle that I'm going to need to know for my test on Monday. Aristotle believed in mind-body dualism, essentially that the soul is different from the body. Human relationships are not my expertise. I think I understand. I think Aristotle's thought is probably the easiest to understand out of all of them. Socrates has 8 main beliefs. Let's see if we can nail all of them. I doubt very, very seriously that we can nail all of them, but we can try. And we can try really hard. I feel like the stock is really fat now. All right, so Socrates' 8 core beliefs, if we can get them. I don't know if we can or can't. It's going to be kind of difficult, to be honest. And this angle is off again. This is just not the way that I need this to be. Socrates. Ignorance realization is very key in his belief. Basically, you need to understand that you don't know everything, I guess is the best way I could put that. Um, there's a story that Socrates went to an oracle, and the oracle said that he was the wisest man in the world. And he basically responded by saying, I don't know anything. I know nothing, and my ability to admit that is that what basically makes me the most wise man in the world. So to Socrates, it's very quintessential that you admit that you know absolutely nothing as a human being. So it's one of them. What else did he believe? Like I said, there's 8 main things that he believed. Um, I know that I don't know is the first one that we just talked about. Um, Mind-body dualism. The body is different from the spirit, and it is better to suffer injustice than to commit injustice. Basically, he believed that your spirit is tainted only if you commit injustice. But if you are to suffer injustice, it is only your body that is tainted. So this is going to be a really horrible example, but that's the only one that I can think of right now. Take, for instance, rape. When you're raped, no matter who you are, chances are your body is about to get incredibly destroyed by the person who's raping you. Socrates would say that that's only your body that's being destroyed. That's not your spirit. Your spirit is going to survive and it's still going to be pure, but the other person's spirit, because they've now committed an injustice, is is not going to survive. It's going to be very bad for the other person, basically. So, yay. There's this little hole over here on the side of the stock. I have no idea what it's for, but it's here. Go ahead and see if we can't get that included. I can't name any other ones. I'm going to have to study again. Plato was not atheist, he was pious. Some people believe that he was atheist. He was not a mechanist, and mechanists believe that the universe operates according to um, morally basically, what am I trying to say here? Um, I don't know how to put it. Mechanists believe basically the universe operates like a machine. There's no uh, morals in how the universe operates. Plato did not think that. Plato thought that there was something there that was moving the world along. Well, I'm glad she's okay. Assuming she didn't cry, she's all right. Let's see, there's other things. Plato opposed materialism and naturalism. Uh, Plato believes in 7 core concepts. Socrates believes in 8. Um, and how the teacher laid out the concepts for Plato is basically like 7 things that people believe, 7 myths about Plato, basically 7 things that people believe about Plato to be true that are not actually true. So, yeah. So I have no idea what this hole is over here for, but it's over here, so gotta include it. The unfortunate part is it looks really, really ugly. Just put that in there. And then I doubt very seriously that I'd be able to fix this unless I could fix this easily. When I think about it, I could just use this coming up like that. And then I think it'd be this one. Yep, it's actually perfect, believe it or not. Um, let's get off of the philosophy, critical thinking, ethics. That's it's not stuff for stream. That gets into some deep stuff that I can barely I can barely get through all the time. Like that class is so intense sometimes. Like really intense sometimes. And that class gets boring sometimes too. Philosophy teacher tends to have a problem going off on tangents about all sorts of things that I'm just he's trying to help make like examples so that we can connect things together, but at the same time it's just not for the best sometimes. It's interesting, but I can't remember the majority of it. I'd have to get out the notes. My notes are in my car, my front seat, which I'm not going to go get. So once I like remember, know it for a while or something like that, once I get to know it a lot better, maybe we'll have a stream just dedicated to it. Just that. This bottom portion of the stock is really bothering me because this is not at all the right, like this is not correct. This angle right here just does not work. And and it's really fucking bothering me. It it's a fat stock and all, but this bottom angle here is just really, really annoying me right now. I'm getting frustrated because of it. We're gonna go ahead and save this as something else. We're gonna save this as a progress stock version 1, just in case we don't like what we're about to do, because we're about to delete out all of this right here. And we're gonna go back to the original idea that I had. We would just use these pieces. Yeah, it gets off on some tangents every once in a while that are completely unrelated, but he feels are. You want to go longer with it? We'll go longer with it by one more of these, and we'll see where that gets us. I think that's better, actually. I think it's better to be this long. I think that was the issue, Bacher. It was just too short for me. He gave us a definition of what philosophers do. His running definition, his operational definition, because operational means that it can change, is basically that philosophers' jobs is to prescribe how people should live their lives. And that was his definition. It's something that he talks about all the time. What should we be doing versus how we um, should be living, or whatever the case may be at the time. We talk about the definition of what philosophers do quite a bit. That actually doesn't fit. This doesn't actually fit, which means that it might have to be done differently. And I'm thinking that it might be a full plate worth. So it'll be done like that. Yep, be done like that. Is this up to there? And that has to be good enough. Today was such a long day at work too. Just absolute long day. Just all sorts of things have to go wrong. So we've begun implementing new systems in place to use codes so that parents who overhear us talking on the radio don't overhear exactly what we're saying, basically don't know exactly what's going on. Same reason the police use codes on their communications. So not everyone knows exactly what's going on. So we had a code green today, and even though we're using codes and me telling you makes using codes kind of pointless, but code green is basically when we have a rampaging child. So the reason we call it a code green is because green is the color of Godzilla, and when we have a rampaging child, that's usually one that is screaming very loud, running around, trying to destroy things, um, and just being an overall monster. So we had one code green today. Code yellow and code brown are pretty self-explanatory. Um, we've had quite a few code yellows um, at the beginning of the week, and we've slowly been working on cutting down on them by basically asking the people who offend the code yellows to use the bathroom before they come out to play. And then we cut down on the amount of code yellows that we've been having. I think that's much, much better, Bacher. I really appreciate the advice to elongate the stock because it just was not working. All right. Code yellow, code brown, pretty self-explanatory. Haven't had too many other codes. We have a code white for parents who use the door that they are not supposed to use. We have fire escape doors, and basically, not too long ago, um, someone used the fire escape door and broke it. And apparently, the fire escape doors are really, really expensive. And by really expensive, I doubt very seriously that they're any more than $500, but that's just me. The people who run the place are saying that they're worth thousands, like $5,000, and I was like, that doesn't seem too right. I don't think it's worth that much, but that's what they said. And I think the funny thing is, it wasn't even a parent who broke that door. It was actually someone who works there that broke that door because they were using it as a shortcut to go out to um, the place that they worked at, or basically their building that they work at. So it's a blanket rule nowadays that we can't use that door. And because the doors are white, our code whites are when a parent comes out that door. Go ahead and
grab the...
No, I don't even have it open. This is going to be my second one of the day. Third one of the day. And by the way, we finished the shotgun. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is pretty much all of it. M590A1 from Rainbow Six Siege. I have no idea what this shotgun is actually based off of, and that would really help if I knew what it was based off of, because M590A1 is not easy to remember at all. Yes, the gap thing in the stock is slanted. But I don't know how to do that. So we are going to avoid doing that. Busk, it is not the end of the stream just yet, because I have technically a very important decision to make. I know for a fact that I want to continue streaming. I know that for a fact. But it's what we build next that is a very important decision. So my different username does this thing where he does, like, you know, the Team Fortress 2, he does like a full loadout for things, for the like different classes. Excuse me. So it might be cool to come through and build, since we have Thatcher's, or not Thatcher's, but Sledge's M590A1 and his L85A2. It might be kind of cool to do a full loadout for him, where we make his SMG-11 P226 Mark 25, and then also build his hammer, since that's kind of like his loadout. Or we can continue on to Thatcher's loadout, where his primary weapons also include the AR-33, which is basically it looks like a 5.56 version of the G36, or not G36, G3. And we have a G3 base, or well, we have an MP5 base that's really good that we could be using for that gun. So I don't know which one we're going to do just yet. And the other thing is, if we do all the primary weapons from the two operators, and then we complete the P226 Mark 25, we've technically done already half of their handguns. Then all we'd have to do is the SMG-11, and then we'd be done with every single weapon for the first two operators from the SAS in the assault category. Though we'd be technically almost done with Mute. We'd almost be done with Mute, because the only new weapon that he has is MP5K. And then we'd have to do Smoke, who has the FMG9, which is a completely new gun. That's going to be difficult to do. Yeah. So we have a decision ahead of us. So it basically comes down to what we're going to do next. I think we'll do all the primary weapons for the SAS first. So we'll do the AR-33 next. After that, the MP5K. And then after the MP5K, we'll do the FMG9. So we're going to go ahead and do the AR33, which should be pretty quick. I'm going to go pull the hood down. If we work quick, we might be even able to do the MP5K tonight as well. I'm going to go ahead and download I don't think it's not, that's basically this. We're going to go ahead and download this. We're going to probably do the FMG9 another day because that's going to require like a complete rebuild of something, whereas the AR33 that we're about to do is essentially what we see here, just built differently. So for those of you who haven't seen this, this is my MP5A3 GL. It just has this grenade launcher attachment on the front of it, which apparently is an actual thing. Because apparently there's actual, like H&K had purposely built a grenade launcher attachment for the MP5, which I did not know until I was flipping through a book that I found in one of the live streams that I did where I was clearing out my room. I found the book, I was just flipping through it to see what was in it, and ended up finding a picture of an MP5 with a grenade launcher attached to it. So, yep, we ended up building that. That was fun. Exciting. This is basically the end result of everything. Come through and patch up this handguard. And then we're going to save this as an MP5 so that I forever have just a normal MP5 to modify, because like the original one of my newer MP5 style that I did was the swordfish, so I had to come through and modify the swordfish design. And then after that, I had to modify the MP5 SD to get this design. So we're just going to save this as a normal MP5 after this so that we don't have to keep modifying things over and over and over again. If we work quick enough, we should be able to get 2 guns in the remaining stream that we have, the remaining time that we have, basically. So we'll make this one with the straight version of the handguard to it, not the angled one. And we're going to file save as to the desktop. Delete that out. Master Edition's fine. Mark III is fine. Delete that out. And then we're going to place just a smaller thing here. Base model in all caps. An underscore. And that will help us identify which one is the base model that we use as a template, essentially. Alright, so we have to do a number of things. First off, why is that connected to everything? That's actually very well confuses me. Is it because of this? Is this an actual... okay, alright, never mind. I know exactly why now. Is there any other piece on this model made out of that color? No? Okay, we can get rid of that. We can now get rid of that. And we can now delete off all of that. That leaves us with that. And templates, please, for the love of goodness, I need you to have the stock. Please have the stock. No, 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 that's not good. Where's the stock? Not that stock. Site, not that stock, not that stock. What the heck? Oh no. We actually gotta find the other stock now. We're gonna be working in different shades of green because I never work in different shades of green. So now we're gonna file save this as something completely different. So we're gonna, in these parentheses, we're gonna erase base model. We're gonna place this with rainbow 6, the number, siege, mark 1 if we're gonna go with that. And this is gonna be the AR33. This is being saved to the desktop where it should be. And now we gotta go find a model that has my old stock on it. I think the most recent one that I did was the Swordfish. Had the stock. Submachine guns, where'd you go? We're gonna come into here. MP5. We're gonna go to the old Swordfish. And we're gonna just check the image real quick. Yep, this is the stock that I want. Go ahead, download it. And come in and get it opened up. And grab this. This is my old lower receiver for MP5s with the 2-star wide thing, no working safety, magazine release, old style grip, just real old school. This is one of my best stocks that I've ever built, essentially, so that's why I am grabbing it. Go ahead and delete out all of you. Bring this in. And we're going to make these colors that I should... What colors do I generally not use for guns and stuff? Translucent colors. So we'll go translucent. We'll do these colors differently because you can hardly tell that that's a different color. Just like that. Select all that and add it into templates. See if it's still here. It should be down at the bottom. It's been added in. Go home, do not save. Open up this. Templates at the bottom. Got this model. Turn it around. And stick it in just like that. And obviously we got to do some editing, which I was going to have to do in the first place anyways, so it doesn't really bother me. What was the last one that we used? This one? No, okay, so the rail system was there, so we used that one. And what other types of greens do I have? That counts as a green. How many other greens do I have? Not many. I guess this is the only remaining green. So you can tell I've already modified the stock before. Kind of do that with it. And then come through and just delete out one more and then basically replace it right afterwards. Because I wanted to use some detail pieces. And this saves us a whole bunch of time. Yeah, pretty wild colors. A whole bunch of green. Um, I don't usually work in green, so figured working in green wouldn't hurt it all too much this time. Try not to be colorist on this channel. I like to work in a wide range of colors, not just the same ones every once in a while. Hey Bryce, we have finished for Bryce, so Bryce knows. We have finished the. See if I can get this off the top of my head without looking. The M50. No, M590A1 combat shotgun from Rainbow Six Siege. We finished that. We've now basically decided that my next step is going to be completing all the primary weapons for the SAS operatives. So we are going to be working on building the AR-33, which will complete all the primary weapons for the attackers of the SAS. So we have the L85A2, the M590A1, and the AR-33. Those are all the primary weapons for the attackers. And then the defenders will have all of those aside from the AR-33, plus the MP5K, plus the FMG9. So. Well, I just gave you the lowdown of what's up, so appreciate you coming out and checking out what's going on before you go to bed, mate. Come through and drop these down, just one more. I just realized none of these are connected, so it's going to be an absolute joy to move. Actually, I have to come through and add all these in, so that it only moves up by one stud worth. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna be doing all the primary weapons for the SAS operatives, and then we'll probably be looking into building all the secondary weapons for them as well, so we can do full loadouts, which should be fun in quotation marks. In terms of doing the SIG P226, because that's what I am not looking forward to doing the most. Like I said in group chat, I'm pretty much thinking about just copying Jim's P226 and making subtle changes to it. Because I think that's probably the best that we can do in terms of SIG P226s. Until, of course, Hotman builds one, unless he's already built one. So I'll be doing Jim's SIG P226. I'll be making my own SMG-11. Should be pretty simple. The folding breach card charge? That'd be really difficult to do. But it'd be really fun. And if I'm doing like a full operators video, I think it'd be really cool to also do their like their specialty items. I think it'd be really fun. We might try. I think try is the key word. We'll see. My controller dead. Oops. I'm working on the stock too long. Well, that's pretty much the stock. Goodness, it still looks like an MP5 way too much. Come back in and we'll increase this back section right here by just a 3. It's true, the harder it is, the more fun it will be. Obviously can't do it right now because we're working on this and I'll be in bed eventually. It's already 1:30, but we'll see if we can't get the AR-33 and MP5K done before we end up going to sleep. Yeah. Basically, we gotta delete out the majority of this. See if we can't grab all this. Oh, I grabbed almost all of it. The front sight post, all of this right here is still relatively important to doing the front end of it. This can be deleted out to about there. Oops. Put this in there. Show the color that we're using. Get this built up. This is part of the rail system. It's kind of the mount that they use on the weapon itself. So it's got 3 of these bars that go through it, and the rail system is basically on this front end only. And then it goes forward basically by 1. We could go 3. We'll go 3 just to show that it goes forward. Like so. And then the charging handle technically sits way up here. It's got like a lot longer of a stroke to it, which means we're going to have to change a fairly large portion of this front end up here. And then this is going to have to come out that way. Basically what's going to happen is we're going to delete all of this. And then hopefully be able to delete 3 of those out. And then do that. And that will give us 6 long mag. We'll be able to do 7 if we cheat and do this differently. Oh no, that doesn't fit. Fudge. No, not fudge. We can. What am I saying? We can pull this off. We got this, guys. Don't worry. We got this. This. No, stop. No. There you go. Thank you. Just needed you to. Let me click you. Okay, this I need to go up by 2. Can I use WSD? Oh, I can use WSD. What am I doing? Okay. Which one do I use? So I can't I can technically use the arrow keys, but I can't use one of them because I guess the D, well, I know for a fact, but the D key serves as the shortcut for delete, so I can't use the D key. But oh, okay. Basically, what I want to do is now figure out how to close this gap between here and here. This is how I want this front end because then I can close it off and make it look all neat and stuff. But I gotta figure out how to do that. To close this end off. The front of this mag well is just a straight line, so we're just gonna do that basically. And then a 3 will not fit there. Okay, so we're just gonna... Will this just continue on to the end? Or no? I don't think it will. Yeah, okay, so that won't do that. So we gotta figure that out somehow. And how that's gonna work. Yeah, that's basically what it's gonna come down to. So while we try to figure this out, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the controller off. Not wasting batteries in it while I'm now looking at the model itself. Alright, see you later, Bryce. Thanks for coming out, stopping by. Appreciate it. Have a good night's of sleep. Good luck on whatever you have going on tomorrow. So on and so forth. This is basically how it's going to have to happen. Which means we're going to have to... I wanted the 7 studs on the inside of space, but I didn't want the front end. Fuck, my phone. Phone. Gotta take the battery out and turn it back on because the screen won't come on. Of course. And it's right as I received the text message. Fantastic. So now the whole front end of this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be big. Not exactly what I wanted from this, but I don't have time to be sitting here trying to figure it all out. Gotta go to sleep sometime tonight. It's only 1:30. That'll go just like that. This piece will not fit in there because this is 5 studs wide and that is 4 studs wide. So fix that doing that. We're going to come through and delete that out and move this forward by 3. I am just making an absolute mess of this right now. There's just, oh goodness, I'm ruining it. Yeah, we are really messing this up. We're just going to delete everything that doesn't have anything to do with direct shapes and then go from there. So now we're just going to come through and patch this up, basically. This side's technically fine. I'll do this side first because this side is more or less easier. Place, I mean, a 2 would be better. We'll go 2s. There and there. Okay. We can go on across with this. The rubber band thing is right there. We're just slowly coming through, patching things up that we broke. Alright, so that's that. Obviously, this magazine's got to go. The magazine is completely wrong. This magwell needs just a little bit of help right there, just to slowly close that off just a little bit. And then I have a feeling that the majority of this will be closed off with the addition of the handguard. Now we can turn the controller back on, and then I'm going to open up a YouTube video on my phone. So my phone absolutely refuses to give me the option of leaving my screen on forever. So it times out after 10 minutes, which is the longest option I have. So my solution to fixing that issue, because it is in fact an issue, is making it so that I just opened up a 10-hour long video on YouTube where this screen won't time out because it's a YouTube video. And I just sit there and I watch that for as long as I need to. So my go-to is just a like rainstorm with gentle thunder and lightning in the background. Sometimes I fall asleep to it. It's not all the time. Sometimes just white noise is good to have going on in the background because there's always white noise and no white noise might drive you insane. So I personally enjoy having white noise around to listen to. It could be a wide variety of things that you can listen to. There's all sorts of sounds that you can fall asleep to, so I know I think that might be just slightly off. Might have to extend this out by one more. I think we might. We'll go ahead and we'll see if this goes to, yeah, we'll just extend this out by one more. I know some people like to fall asleep to the wood, like wood burning. Sounds like a fireplace. Thunderstorm, rain hitting the ceiling is popular. You could do, let's see, what else? The beach, like waves on the beach, wind coming through a home, which is kind of one of the more weird ones that I've seen. There's just all sorts of things that you could go to sleep to. So I just prefer the rain hitting the roof. Some fireplace ones. I had done fireplace ones for a little bit, but there's not enough variety, I guess, is what I want. So like the sound of the wood is pretty basic, whereas with the thunderstorms and stuff, we have lightning, thunder. Lightning and thunder are basically the same thing. Lightning, thunder in the rain, and then you also sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get the sound of like wind wherever they recorded this location had like a wind gust or something. So yeah, it's basically as long as we want it. Looking more and more like a G3 with every growing moment. Except now we actually need to come through and delete a pretty good amount of this to extend out the charging handle pretty far up here. I think to about there will be good. Go ahead and delete out some of those. And piece this back together. I think we will have time for the MP5K. Keyword is think, because we might run into some issues that I don't know about with this gun just yet that will prevent us from getting to the MP5K. But I don't know if that's going to be happening or not. Oh, goodness. Did not mean to put those there. I don't know if that'll be happening or not just yet. It's basically the whole charging handle mech except for this piece right here. Which is now going to move I see. Let's get in the way. So that's going to move up to there. And then we actually got to change how this charging handle works, because the G3 actually has a different and quite interesting charging handle design to it. But it should be pretty fun to do. We're going to place that piece back in there and then delete this and see if this piece will do that. Perfect. So I can retain the angle because that angle is hard to get. And we are then going to use this piece instead. Switch back to this piece and put this in like so, for reasons that will become apparent later. Switch back over to this and go ahead and continue on with this. I believe that's what I did last time. Continue these on up. Come in and place these all along here. Don't quite remember why those pieces were like that. That should be like that, and then we are going to use this piece to finish off the top of it. Like so. Kind of really want to move this in just a little bit, but actually we could do that. Yeah, I think we have an idea. We're going to place a spacer, and we're going to use this piece. Ooh, heck nah, we're going to go in all the way. How does that work? Oh yeah, there we go. That'll do. For reasons that will become obvious eventually. Alright, and this is going to fit right there, exactly like it should, with the sight exactly where it should be. And then we just have to extend the barrel out, obviously, because the barrel's not this short, but yeah, it's pretty standard. Luke Sultan, hello. And I think something that we're going to do is go ahead and place some templates of this design, because I'm getting kind of tired of making this design, because it's not exactly the best of designs to be making over and over and over and over and over again. So this is the basic A2 style flash hider that I do for all my guns. We're just going to go ahead and make a template out of all this. Like so. So then I don't have to keep doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So that goes like that. Take a look at this real quick to see what we have going on. Okay, looks good. And now we're going to go ahead and work on getting a handguard into place. What color is green that I can see, or at least can be considered green? Let's see. Is there? Well, it looks like we're just going to have to do a color completely blatantly not green. What goes with green? So green and orange, I think, are the ones that are on different ends of the color spectrum. For the handguard, we're going to be using this piece for reasons that will become apparent eventually whenever we get to it. We're going to be moving. Okay, no, we don't have to technically move those just yet. So place this here, and then we're going to place a 1, and then the rest of it's going to be 2x16. This will hold on to all of this very well. 2, 6. This needs to be patched up. Goodness. Pick up. Get this placed in. Oh goodness, there's a. Oh no, it's a charging handle. About to say, I was like, there's a whole big gap over here. The heck? Then I realized what it was. Alright, so I don't think the 10 will fit, but the 8 will fit with 1 left over, which is good. Okay, now what I'm going to do. Stop fighting me. Just do what I'm asking. And then delete out the majority of that. We're actually going to replace the ones that came back here, though. If we're done before 2, I'm going to be really happy, because then we should be able to do the MP5K as well. The next pieces that we're going to use are these, which will start the slope downwards, basically. And then we're going to use a real cheat method to flip all of this around to the other side, so we don't even have to waste time building all of this onto the other side. Considering this is just going to be direct mirror images of one another for the most part, we're just going to use the color select tool on an orange. I used a different orange for those. Are you kidding me? Great. Oh, and that's my site color too. The sites are now becoming red. This is going to go to the darker orange. Okay, first off, color select, we're going to hit Control C, and then we're going to make it to the darker orange. Then we're going to hit Control V, bring them around to this one, and then we're going to make these to darker orange. There we go. So that's like the whole front portion of his grip, essentially. And then the bottom of his grip has a rail system on it. But I want some form of angle through here. And the best way to do that would be basically cheese slopes. I think it might just be urine. Not entirely sure. My stream's still going over here. I really... Yeah, I don't really have the room to flip this upside down. But if we were to cheat, it would be like this. Ah, that's right, we have these corner bricks that we could technically use so that they both touch the top and touch the side. So we do those ones that way, and then we'll do these ones this way. Now we just need to replicate all of this a whole bunch. And hopefully it ends perfectly like it should. I believe it will. Ha! There we go. Now we're going to take and use 12s and go down the length of it. And then I think we might even actually increase this out by one more stud layer. Just do this. can come back through, grab all these. Just like so. And then that will leave us a space to build up a rail, basically, because there's a rail down a majority of this rifle. Not all of it, from what I just figured out, because I looked up and thought it was all of it, but it's not. But there's a pretty good amount. So we'll go ahead and lay out the majority of it. That's not going to work. Then there's this gap here, right here. Which means we'd have to turn this gap. These down. These fit there? Yeah, they will. And then we'd have to turn these up. So. And then we turn these down. Turn those up. Turn those up. Put a 3 right there. Just like so. And then we'll be able to, let's say 3-star wide rail system. About to say, I knew for a fact that one of those colors was wrong. Alright, so for this charging handle, a G3's charging handle is a kind of folding charging handle. So it folds out of the way when it's not in use. So to do that is basically what we're doing right now. Try to get these moved. I can fit this piece right there. Place that right there. And place a 4 on the inside. So now when you want to charge the weapon, all you got to do, grab your charging handle, rotate it out, pull it back. It should pull back the full distance, and then you can lock it into the notch right there. And then you can H-slap it forward so that it fits back into place. So it's pretty much the AR-33 for the most part. I think the only thing that I really want to change is kind of how this grip works. It's not straight in-game, kind of humps off the back. Doing that's pretty easy. I'll actually take it one further. This last one. Just to give it a little bit more drastic look. Just like that. And then we got to do the finger grooves going along the weapon. I hate sneezing. I really do. It hurts way too much. Mm. Mm-hmm. Hate sneezing. I think that one's fine where it is, actually. Which side is the camera side? I think this is the camera side. Oh, we've already done the complete version 1. Okay. We'll change this to assembled version 1. Pretty sure I spelled assembled wrong, but whatever. Because it's already 2 o'clock, for the sake of time, I'm just gonna leave out the magazine for now. But we should be able to come back in and do that sometime later. So we will be doing the magazine just at a later time. That's going to be that color. This is going to be that color. This will be dark gray. Black. This will be black. This will be black. I believe all the sights in game are the like translucent green night sights. This barrel is going to be the darker gray. I don't think the stream is frozen. Let me check. Give me a second to log out of YouTube on my phone and do a different account so that I can check to see if stream is frozen like you guys are saying. After this commercial ad. I'd go to say that stream probably is in fact broken. So we're going to fix that by refreshing this page. Well, that explains things. That page was lying to me My side of the chat said that we were all green, and now we've ended up in the red. Great. We can continue despite the fact that we're having issues for the sake of continuing, but I don't foresee it getting any better. So I do apologize for this, guys. I don't know why it just all of a sudden got pretty bad. Pause or still broken on my other screen. So if you're trying to stay to watch, I really appreciate it, but you guys don't have to. If the stream is going to be broken like this, I don't mind you all leaving. Even chat is broken. It's not displaying any messages, new or old. And this sucks because the AR-33 is basically done. The only thing that we'd have to do is the magazine, which is fairly easy. So that sucks. Like, no one's awake, it's 2 in the morning. I should have complete internet access, and that's really upsetting right now. Well, the AR-33 is done. And if it's going to be like this for the rest of the night, I'm not going to do the MP5K. So I think we'll call it here. And I'll probably just post an image into social media so that you guys can see what the complete version 1 looks like. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. I wish we could continue the stream just a little bit longer, but if it's going to be broken like this, I don't want to continue it much longer because I don't want you guys to be able to just listen to my voice. That's not entertaining at all. You need actual substance in watching me build this half of the stream. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Remember to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out my website, blowjellymustard.woodwood.com. We've been slowly updating it lately with different models, and I hope to get back to doing that sometime over the weekend. So yeah, I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to do this one, yada yada, whatever.